Good evening, TheoTrade. This is Corey Rosenblum, and you're watching the Theo Nightly video for the 10th of November here in 2020. And we had, well, a pullback right as expected from this 3600 level on the S&P futures here and the SPX. Take a look at that just briefly. So that's where we are. Let me start the video tonight with a weekly perspective of this ongoing higher high, higher low situation, rising moving averages, and we call it a bull market, bear market. Terms don't matter as much, but we do have continual rising prices and higher highs. That takes us through 2020. And as we're pushing through November into December, this year will end. But will it end above or beneath where we started the year, just about the 3250 level? And that's right here in the SPX. So we are above it. Market's bullish, or at least market's higher than it was at the start of the year, but don't forget we had the coronavirus and the recovery and stimulus and all sorts of things that have taken us to this point. On the Nasdaq, that's been the weakest market of, well, the month, the week, and today. That is mainly because the tech stocks, or the monsters of tech, which are here, these are our big names. We have Apple. This is our symbol, by the way, here at TheoTrade. It's Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Alphabet, and Microsoft, just mathematically made in a way with a relatively equal weight to the index. This is Don's tool at the TheoTrade shared studies page for the monsters of tech. Don't worry too much about the numbers, but just keep in mind that these 5 stocks here are the biggest market cap leaders. What does that mean? What is market cap? Market cap is the size of a stock, and we can take a look at that inside of one of these watch list tools. Just visualizing with me here. The monsters of tech will go up to the S&P 500, just to broaden out their perspective here, and sort them by market cap. So take a look. In terms of the stocks, these market cap weighted names, this is in a million, so that's actually 1.9 trillion, and that is 775 billion in terms of market cap. Shares outstanding, or shares the float with the price of the stock, or times the price of the stock. And that gives the stocks a market cap. And these are weighted such that if a move in Apple, kind of flat today, but Microsoft was down 3%, Amazon was down 3.5%, and the list goes on. So these are sorted and weighted into the price of the index. Note in the S&P 500, there are 500 stocks, so these stocks right here comprise about 1% of the S&P 500. But in terms of market cap, this is what we watch or visualize, that the larger this box is, and this is our market watch visualize tab with the S&P 500, that's the weight of the index. In the S&P 100, they take up about 1/3 or a little more of the index itself. Now, when you're getting up in the Nasdaq 100, these stocks represent more than 50% if you throw maybe Nvidia or one of the stock in there with it, Netflix perhaps, or Tesla, right? This is actually 50% of the Nasdaq 100. So when you're looking at these will be important to chart. And these are names you see quite frequently here at TheoTrade. I like to look at them like this, which is sort of a FANG. There's more than that now, but includes Microsoft. But Facebook, Amazon. Actually, we'll take Netflix, FAMG. Hard to sort of pronounce there, but Microsoft, Google, and the like. And Apple's not even on this one. So this is how we see these stocks. They've topped, just kind of comparing, contrasting. Facebook hit a double top at 300 per share. Amazon's coming off of this 3,500, 3,300 level. Microsoft is doing another resistance play just above 220. And the one shining star is Google, because it's up there at the highs, 1,800 per share. And that just made a new all-time high not long ago. And we'll just throw Apple back in the mix to see that it is playing into 120 per share. This is a quick way to look at these stocks, a quick way to get a sense of the broader market and the stocks that are moving the market. But that's not all. These stocks are not the only things in the market. Let's go back to the S&P 500. So it made all-time highs The Dow Jones is 30 stocks, be it blue chip names or things we've heard of. And the Russell is your small cap indices. So what levels are important? What's the play? 1800 is the rejection play down from the Russell. The Dow mini futures, the Dow Jones, 30,000. Didn't quite touch it, but fell just a little bit shy. And the Nasdaq is not making those new swing highs. And that's up against 12.3, 12.4, 12.5. We can take a look at some of the individual names, but I'd recommend doing that on your own charts, on your own time, with positions. So the monsters of tech, titans of tech, the big technology names with Amazon in it are moving markets beyond other stocks. So other stocks are important. Walgreens Boots Alliance, to name one, was a strong trender of today. ConocoPhillips, General Motors, and that's making new highs as it pulls forward. Boeing had its breakout, right? We were looking for this breakout from a range consolidation or contraction that's happening on high volume. So that's one to look a little more bullishly. Kinder Morgan and many other stocks included. Raytheon. So not all is bullish. Stocks that were doing really well today or have done really well today are not names that are at all-time highs. So there are opportunities into these movements. But things that are playing bearishly are pullback retracements. And that includes NVIDIA, Salesforce.com, Adobe, Amazon. We talk about Microsoft. We saw that in the range. And other names such as MasterCard, Facebook, Starbucks, which is a kind of a deep pullback from a gap on a little play here, Qualcomm, and finally Alphabet, Google. So which stocks are making new all-time highs? Just a quick little list on our scan. Not a lot today. In the broad S&P 500, only 10 of them did, so I won't chart them individually, but just to make a note. General Motors, we saw that. HCA, McKesson, and all down the list as well. So what are we looking at? What's the play? For the week ahead, just Tuesday, going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, do note these inflection levels and the resistance levels we talked about in each of these stocks. That's about 225 in Microsoft. For Facebook, that's 300, and that play was achieved. For Amazon, 3,400. We have had the retracement or the pull backs. Going forward, we'll be looking for support levels. That includes 3,000 for Amazon. For NVIDIA, that's going to be about 500. Right, we're looking down beneath the price because the sell swing has taken place. Support levels would include about 500. We just saw Microsoft at about 210, if not 210, then all the way back to 200 as that zooms in. And the support level there. And individual stocks, Facebook, about 270. And then Qualcomm, that's a little bit off the rails there. And Google, 1,700. Quick look before we go at the bond market pulling down. So bonds are pushing new lows as markets are pushing highs. That's what we would expect from a risk on type of perspective. There is ZN, ZB, which is your 10-year and 30-year note. VIX volatility down at the 23-24 level. And a couple of bonus charts. Crude oil continues a trading range that moves with the equity market. That is bullish when stocks are bullish. And gold is on its own play. It's been quite volatile lately, so please be careful if you are trading gold. As always, be careful and safe. This is Corey Rosenblum with tonight's Theo video update for November 10th, 2020.